I don't really know. I mean, I feel like, has it?
Do you feel? Well, if you don't feel that it has, that's.
I just think that I've always been a subversive person. I'm an artist. I was born like that, you know? So I'm always going to be attracted to an opportunity where I can be a part of telling a story that hasn't been told yet. So, to me, it's not arbitrary that the first real job I got was on a queer show. And I think that if I look at everything I've ever done, there's probably been, I don't know, I just don't know. I just think it's just, to me, it's not a big deal. It's never been a big deal. Even at the time, even though it was the first lesbian show, supposedly, it's like,
pretty much was.
But that doesn't mean that there weren't queer people writing stories that had queer themes and queer characters, even though they didn't actually follow through for years before that, right? So it's like, people who are marginalized have to exist and tell their own stories in the best way that they can. That changes through the years. It looks different as the years go by. The L Word was the first one to look and feel that way, but queer stories have been told with different faces and different names for years.
Do people still, if they see you, do they still yell out like Papi, or maybe even like circles?
They didn't even back then.
No?
No, because we're different. Our presentation of self, meaning Papi and I, our presentation of self is very different from each other, so nobody really recognized me. I did have one fantastic moment in WeHo where, like, I play video games. I'm a geek, right? So I'm not really going out that much. But while it was airing in those years, I happened to be out and somebody recognized me. And somebody said, "Hey, Papi," and I think she thought she was being kind of like smart, just being a smart aleck. And I just looked at her, but I looked at her as Papi. and I said, like, "Hey, girl," and she basically like shrank inside of herself. And that was super fun, and I'll never forget it, because, and that was so long ago now. Papi isn't as on the skin as she used to be for me, right? But she had a point of view and an opinion that is so different than mine, that when she looked at women through me, they knew it. And they could feel it. And so it would make it, that's why it made this woman lose all of her power on the sidewalk outside of some club in West Hollywood. And I'll never forget it, because I can't do it anymore.
No?
I could probably get her back, you know what I mean?
Just
like, I
practice
could
in the
probably
mirror.
get her back, but she was still on the skin at the time. So, I mean, even if I tried right now, it'd be hard, and it'd be embarrassing for me as an actor, because I'd be like, oh shit, I lost her. I gotta go get back to work a little bit to find her, you know. But that was fun.
So you were on the first big, this is all queer women all the fucking time. It's just great. How have you seen the queer landscape in media change since then?
We all have. It's been incredible. Thank God. Thank God. I love how this next generation is like, lesbian, that's too binary for me. They are not here for that bullshit. I love it. I just think Gen Z is going to save us all. I just think they're going to force every person who thinks black and white to think in a rainbow. They've already added more colors to the rainbow. It's a beautiful thing. Oh my gosh, it's just like a bucket of geniuses. It's incredible. It's a really big show. And by that, because I've been on a few big shows, but that's a very big show. How do I explain that so vague? Here's an example. My first day on set, I'm sitting in the cup. That's what we call it, because it's like a little coffee cup, you know? So that's the desk, if you will, the cup. And there were 2 modes of production happening at the same time, simultaneously. The real show
Right.
that you see, which is like the cameras in the back, right? They're on tracks. They're behind the cameras that are shooting us, creating the news network show. All of that content is being piped into the real heart, where you see all of the, just the entire, basically the room that has all of the, oh my gosh, I just completely lost all brain. Can I have a water? That'd be good. The room that has all of the screens. I couldn't say the word screen, like television screen. What's wrong with me? Anyway, so it's being piped into that live. Now I wasn't told that because they don't as an actor, if you're not a producer, nobody's telling you shit. You're just showing up and doing your job, right? But because I produce and because I love technology and I'm like watching everything, I'm like stepping out of myself and then stepping in as the character sometimes, right? So I'm sitting down, I'm having Allison thoughts, right? All of her thoughts, and then they yelled cut, and then I just like looked around for the first time, and I was like, "What? Wait, hold on. So you guys are shooting?" And then I kind of leaned this way, and I could see, "Thank you so much," and I could see everything was live on those screens, and I was like, "This is a fucking circus. This is there's so many moving parts at all times. This is fucking big." And I was talking to Deshaun, and I was like, "Do you understand? Do you see how big this is? This is massive." I'd never seen anything like that. I mean, I don't even know if it exists on any other show, because there have been shows about the news before, but I don't think there's ever been a set like that. That shit is sexy.
Are there any future shows that you can say something about, or maybe any projects that we can support you with?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm living in just like an umbrella of secrecy right now on
Yeah.
a few things, which sucks.
So is there something you can say at all, or just nothing at all? Just
Really?
yes.
I have 4 or 5 games. I've been working on a lot of games in the pandemic, which is very exciting. It's really dope stuff that I'm so excited to be a part of. But this pandemic has been really interesting. I did a show called Big Sky, which is now you can watch all of it. So
I got hooked.
I had a lot of fun. And I joined a show that was this is what I can say. I joined a show. It was a very big hit show. And it got canceled 3 days before we were all going to ship out to make it.
Oh.
So it was announced that it got canceled. And it was like, it was an intense moment. In that moment, as an actor, you are added so late to a project that to me, I'm just like, gives a shit what I think. Are the writers okay? Are the director that's been up there planning for months, are they okay? How about the entire crew that doesn't have a job now? Are they okay? It's very intense. So that happened. I was not supposed to be here right now. But, so that's why I'm sort of like happily not off shooting something. And other than that, I'm producing and developing a lot of stuff. My creative partner and I have a very dense slate of projects. I also started a full-service podcast production company last year, and so the first one that is out right now is called Truest Blood. It's a look-back podcast for HBO. It's really good. What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing because HBO just had the wave of HBO Max has the wave of cancellations where so many people. I was going to ask, how do you feel?
Well, we're just a little podcast.
True, but how do you feel about seeing all those cancellations on HBO?
Oh, I'm devastated. Especially because HBO is subversive. And that is where marginalized communities have shined on HBO. in the past. So that's very scary to me.
What's your favorite guilty pleasure show to watch? Reality TV is open for.
It is?
It is.
This is not this is not guilty at all. I was going to say the best of reality television right now is Love on the Spectrum. If you haven't watched it, everybody needs to go home and watch it right now. Watch a US one first, then watch 1 and 2, the Australian version. That is the order in which you have to watch it. That's not guilty, though. Guilty is Love is Blind. Ugh. Guilty! Yeah.